Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hi, Mimi. Hi, Vivian. Hello, 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 hello. Vivian, I've sent you a request to join. Let me know if you've got it. Accept.
Me.
Hello, Queen.
Hey.
How are you? You're looking very Christmassy with the green and the green and the green
Yes, we're ready
and the
for the
glow.
holidays. Yes,
How
absolutely.
are you?
I am well, thank
It's
you.
good to see you. You look very refreshed. I feel like I know
I
something
am.
behind that.
It's that time of the year
Yeah.
where we shut down and just rest and be with family. So yes.
Absolutely. I need to get a leaf from your book, but you're absolutely right. I mean, I'm always saying that now, right? But it's been a year. It's been a year, but I'm grateful for this period and this season, like you say, to just shut down and really think intentionally about how the year has gone and what 2020, the next year has for us as well too. So I'm excited to have you on here. And before I go into all of that stuff, let's kind of like set the ground for those who are joining. Thank you for being on here. You are well. We've got an exciting 30 minutes, 45 minutes to discuss so many things that has to do with the event we have in January,
Mhm.
but also to know what Vivian has for us today. So once again, this is Women Doing Afraid, and we're literally a community, an organization that is so committed to the individual and the collective growth for women. We always talk about empowering and mobilizing women towards their growth. And we have, to me, I say it's like goal setting Pro Max, vision boarding Pro Max, whatever it is. Like if you're looking for an event to kick off your 2024, we've put together some amazing speakers, amazing panelists in amazing intention happening January 21st next year. And Vivian is one of our speakers. And I would love for Vivian to introduce herself. I'm not even going to try to read Vivian's bio or anything, but from our own words, Vivian, tell us more about yourself and who you are, apart from being this amazing, fashionable woman. Tell us
Of
more. How about that?
course. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Somto. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Vivian Otabor. I am the founder of Resilient Immigrant. And Resilient Immigrant is a nonprofit organization that I've set aside to encourage, empower, and evolve the lives of African immigrants in the diaspora, whether in the US, in Canada, Switzerland, wherever individuals like to migrate to. And then outside of that, I bring over 15 years of entrepreneurship and IT consulting. I've worked with multiple organizations, uh, industry giants, and I say this not to brag, but because of the topic we have today.
Of course.
So prepare, pray, and plan
Yeah.
for 2024. And the part that I'm going to be focusing on, which is the career part. So individuals who are trying to either
Yeah.
transition, individuals who are trying to grow in their careers, get a promotion, just pivot, whatever the case may be.
Right.
So it's extremely important to understand that I have this wealth of experience and backgrounds. I'm not just, anybody coming to tell you things. I've been there, I've done that, I have the experience, and I can prove it.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yes, I love it. So I'm just trying to pin our topic today. So thank you for giving that context, right? And I love what you said. You've been there, you've done that, right? You're not pulling anything out of the thin air. And I think that's super important because honestly, it's when someone has gone through a journey, they do have, success stories, lessons learned, mistakes that they've made. And for the fact that you're even willing to share,
Mhm.
I first I want to say thank you for that, right? And I definitely know that the women who choose the career breakout rooms are in for a treat because
Yeah.
it's gonna be an honest room. Like
Yes.
we're not trying to. There's no fronting here. I truly believe.
No, there's no forming. Like I
No,
came here
no,
like with the
no.
realness. Like let's
Yeah,
keep it real.
yes,
Let's
yes,
keep it
yes.
real.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're ready to do the work because I like and I know you agree to this, but 2024 is definitely the year for intentionality.
Yes.
It's a year where we're all going to be honest with ourselves. We
Mm-hmm.
all know where we want to go to. We're all going to do the work that is needed to get there, right? So let's talk about even your journey. I know you talked about the fact that you're founder of Resilient Immigrant and you've had many years experience working with, corporate giants literally all over the world. But tell us more about Resilient Immigrant and what inspired you to start that platform.
All right. So like I mentioned before, so outside Resilient Immigrants, I have other
Okay.
organizations that I founded that do running. But right now, resilient immigrants is very near and dear to my heart because it's about the impact. It's not necessarily about the money or what I'm going to gain, but it's really how it enriches my soul because I'm helping people. And so when I look back and I think about my own story, how I came into the U.S. as an immigrant, the
Mm-hmm.
challenges I faced, the adversities, the struggles, it's just a clear testament of the power of community, the power of information,
Mm-hmm.
how important it is to tap into your network. If you don't have one, start building one, right? And so I know that if I went through these struggles and these challenges and all of these problems, there are
Mm-hmm.
people out there who are going through the same. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's how resilient immigrants emerge, right? So it's really from a place of wanting to help other people because there are definitely people who are still coming. There are a lot of newcomers. We're in this Japa era.
Right.
So there are a lot of people who are still coming, and there are people who have been here who don't have the information. They don't
Right.
have information because they're not in the right circle. They
Right.
don't have the information because they're not putting themselves out there, and multiple other reasons. And so Resilient Immigrants is really there to provide information. It's there to empower. It's there to showcase to fellow African immigrants that it's possible to actually attain your dreams. You don't need to be an immigrant and be basic. No, we're not being basic for nobody. We're going to keep building. We're going to keep getting to higher grounds. We're going to keep breaking boundaries and achieving things that we didn't even think was possible. So that's what Resilient Immigrants is about.
And tell us more about even I know in Resident Immigrant you share the stories of immigrants as well who are doing amazing for themselves, and definitely resilience is a part of our DNA. You know, it's almost like
Yes.
go ahead.
Yes, so resilient immigrants. So I mean, it's we're still trying to find footing and gain structure. There's so many ideas, so many things we want to bring to the forefront. However, the programs that we have now,
Mm-hmm.
um, so three different categories: the career category, so individuals who are trying to get into better careers,
Mm-hmm.
or individuals who are trying to grow in their careers, or even transition to new careers. Um, there's also the business aspect, people who are focused on entrepreneurship and wanting to start a business and wanting to evolve, what they need to do, how to go about it, starting an LLC, all that good stuff, right? Getting business loans or
Mm-hmm.
funding.
Mm-hmm.
And the third part is for our brothers and sisters who are in the
Mm-hmm.
US but are not
Mm-hmm.
documented, right? So, yes, they might be illegal, but they're still humans and they still have the right to live a good life,
Absolutely.
right? So providing legal immigration clinics,
Right.
bring in immigration lawyers to talk to them, see how they can get on that journey, on that path to being legalized and being documented. Now, so those are the things those are the programs we have right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for the Spotlight series and the podcast we have going on. So the first one we have is the Resilient Immigrant Spotlight. Now, this is extremely important because and I watched a video of you recently where you talked about representation.
Right.
It's important to have representation, to know that as an immigrant, if this person is doing it, I too
Yeah.
can do it, right?
Absolutely.
And there are so many African immigrants who are killing it
Mm-hmm.
literally, right? They are excelling in their various fields, they are
Mm-hmm.
breaking boundaries, they are cashing out.
Mm-hmm.
And so um, the whole idea of the Brazilian Immigrant Spotlight is to showcase them, to say, hey, come tell your story.
Mm-hmm.
It's not all rosy. You started from
Mm-hmm.
somewhere. What was your journey like? How did you what is your resilient journey? How did you get from the struggle, the doubts, the frustrations, the feeling left out or
Yes.
feeling alone or just lost in a new country? How did you push past all of that to a point where you know what? You're like, I don't care if I'm different. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care if I'm the only black person in the room or the only African. I don't care if my accent sounds different. I am
Mm-hmm.
who I am and I know who God made me to be and
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to excel and I'm going to speak and I'm not going to be shy,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's what the Resilience Spotlight series is about.
Okay.
Now we also have another podcast which is it's KPKIP, which is Knowledge is Power. And the KIP series is also another important aspect of resilient immigrant because we're bringing information.
Right.
Like literally, a lot of people do not know that certain things exist. I've been in the IT space for going on 10 years now, and some individuals don't know what agile is.
Mm,
Some individuals don't know what database administration is, right?
mm,
And it's like, who are your friends? Who do you talk to? What community are you in,
right. Right.
right? And so it's important to share this knowledge, provide information. So, bringing on individuals who have expertise in certain areas and certain fields, things like financial literacy,
Mm-hmm.
things like just, excelling in business, understanding
Yes.
taxes, or, immigration, like
Benefit.
whatever the case is, just providing information so that our people can excel.
Mm-hmm.
When people have information, they have the key to succeed. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Oh, I love it. So if you all are just joining, I'm seeing the fires and the chat and the claps. Please give Vivian her flowers because she just took us to church for sure. I mean, you definitely know representation is a key part of something that I stand by,
Mhm.
honestly. And you're right. Seeing someone else go through the path, or even hearing someone else's story and be like, wow, they went through this as well, kind of like inspires you to know that you're not alone on this journey. And if our stories are not told, like they say, somebody else will tell your story for you.
Yeah.
Your mouth is closed, somebody else will speak on your behalf, right?
Yep.
I mean, as
Yep.
immigrants, most of the time, our upbringing and our conditioning doesn't favor us in this environment. So we
Yeah.
have to be so self-aware
Hmm.
to know what limiting us in this environment so that we can unlearn to relearn. So what you're doing with resident immigrant is absolutely very powerful, bringing to forefront our possibilities and showing that picture. So thank you so much for sharing that. I think I remembered something, a post about that I wrote about glass ceilings, right? And I said there are two kinds of glass ceiling. There's a glass ceiling where, well, you can see someone behind the glass ceiling and well, it's possible for me. I just need to maybe crack that glass a little bit more. And there's a glass ceiling that is dark. And so you don't even have any picture possibility at all. And most of the times we're usually in that glass ceiling that is dark where we don't see what is on the other side. And that's even more dangerous.
Right.
And so shining light on every glass ceiling for us as immigrants so that we can thrive, we can be resilient, we can
Yeah.
thrive, that legacy for our kids. So absolutely kudos to you for that. And I know you talked about impact, right? And so bringing it back a little bit to, prepare, pray, plan 2024. Thank you all for being here. We're just talking about our amazing power packed, panel packed, speaker packed event in 2024 that we put together
Hmm.
to really make sure that women are able to kick off their year intentionally. And Vivian is one of our amazing speakers, and she will be leading the breakout room around career strategy and career planning for 2024. So let's talk about career a little bit. So what has been one of your secrets, or if there is a secret, because I feel, well, there is a secret, right, to navigating career challenges, especially when there've been a lot of unknowns. So I know you talked about coming to the US 10 years, right? So what has been something that's helped you navigate that unknown when it comes to career path and career strategy?
So it's right there in the title, literally, prepare, pray, plan. That
You
has
know,
been my secret.
when you said right in the title, I was thinking of resilience.
No, no, it's literally
Right,
you have to know what you
right,
want,
right,
right?
right.
I say this all the time. If I want to be a medical doctor in the next 3 years, I could be
You
a
will
medical
be.
doctor,
Mm,
right? It's very straightforward. I would do my research, I would go to school, I would
right,
do residency, and boom, I'm a medical doctor.
right,
You have to be focused, but it's extremely important to know what you want. The vision has to be clear. You have to write it down, and you have to believe in it. But now, another thing that I don't know has worked for me
hmm,
and many others because I coach individuals and they've succeeded is the things that you do to get to your goal, right? It's not necessarily about having a goal and focusing on the goal. It's the things that you do to get you to that goal. Every little action, every little step, it all adds up. So,
right,
for example, if someone says, I want to transition into the IT industry, right? And maybe they're in sales or they're in marketing or whatever, what are you doing, right? It's not enough to create a resume and garnish it with all sorts of things that exist and not exist
right,
and applying for jobs, right? No. How are you upskilling? How are you getting the skills that are needed in the
hmm,
IT industry? How are you practicing how to translate the skills that you already have, right? Those transferable skills. How are you doing that? How are you practicing? How are you positioning yourself to be seen as an IT individual, as a potential IT employee, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those little things are extremely important, and a lot of people lose focus or don't know how crucial those tiny
Yeah.
little ones are, right? One of the things we're going to be talking about in our breakout session, which is extremely important, is your professional brand, right? I'm very big about image and how you look.
Mm-hmm.
How you dress is how you would be addressed,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you have to look the part to get the part. You have to believe it. You have to start acting it.
Mm-hmm.
So again, how you present yourself, how you speak, how you answer questions,
Right.
how you interact with other
Right.
people, you know, all of those things are extremely important. And I don't want to give too much, but there's there's a playbook. There's a
Mm.
playbook, and anybody who's intentional, again, this event we're having is not for everybody. I always say this, it can't be for everybody. We can't serve everybody. Some people, even if you give them the manuscript,
They will
they're
never
still
open it.
okay, they're not going to work on it. So I'm talking to people who are intentional, people who know what they want, people who are tired and frustrated of being stuck where they
Absolutely.
are, and they want growth. They want growth either, through transitioning, through a promotion, through earning more money, through getting to a leadership position. People
Mm-hmm.
who are tired, who want to move on, who want to grow, right? And so for those individuals who are going to attend this event, who are going to be talking about how to position your brand, how to be intentional, right?
Yeah.
How to ask for what you want, how to speak it into existence. There's power in the tongue, right? And it's extremely important to know that if you can see it or you believe it,
Mm-hmm.
it can definitely come to life. It can come to existence. So we'll definitely talk about those things. Of course, we'll talk about how to craft a compelling resume. We'll talk about how to reach out to individuals on LinkedIn, how to grow your network, how to craft a compelling elevator pitch, right?
Yep.
So if someone calls you and says, "Hey, I see that you applied for this position, or you look like a good fit," we don't want you blabbing like, no, no, you only have one shot, right? And
Yeah.
you want to make it count. So those are some of the things that we're going to be covering in the breakout
That's
room
wonderful.
as well.
So you're giving us all the tips that we should expect on that day. So
Yeah,
hey, if you want to know about building your personal and professional brand, how to make sure that you know what to say in that 30-second, 60-second when they ask you, tell me about who you are, how to make sure that your resume is representing where you're at right now, not where you were 10 years ago.
hmm,
You definitely want to be in Vivian's breakout room because she will be giving us all the details about that. Um,
Chris.
and so also we talk about prepare, pray, right?
Hmm, of
Prayer. I mean, prayer is a strategy. Prayer is a
course.
strategy. And I want to know more about, what that looks like for you. How do you strike that balance in your professional journey? Because I know I asked you about, your career journey so far. And you said it's in the title, prepare, pray, plan. So let's tell us more about prayer and how that has helped you so far.
So for me, I think everybody needs to understand that there's a higher being than us on earth, right? And so knowing whatever anybody believes in, like whatever you believe in, right? I believe
Right.
in the Almighty God, right? But whatever you believe in, have that faith and understanding that you're tapping into um connecting to a supernatural being who can actually open doors for you.
Yes,
But you need to do your part,
absolutely.
right? So it's important for you to prepare, it's important for you to plan, do all of your
Mm-hmm.
homework, strategize,
Mm-hmm.
but it's extremely important to seal it with the power of prayer,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because when God is involved, anything is possible, right? I tell people who care to know, I've transitioned from different
Mm-hmm.
careers, different lines, right? From marketing to wealth management to financial advising to agile to being an infrastructure a principal engineer, what, like, name it, I've done it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the templates and the playbook is the same, but I think I've been successful all through because of my connection with God and putting my plan into God's hands to say, God, if this is, the right thing for me, let this happen, right? Again, we need to understand that in this world of, applying for jobs and
Mm-hmm.
interview, there's only so much control you have. You might do all the right things. Your resume is the best.
Yeah.
You go for the interview, you speak very clearly, very fluently, answer all the questions correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time to make the decision.
Yep.
And the person who has the utmost power says, you know what? I have a niece or a nephew who I want to give that position to. You did
Yeah,
everything right,
that's
right?
it.
Now, that's where the God factor comes in. That's where you need someone in the room who is invisible to change minds and change decisions in your favor, right? That's the power of prayer. So things that you cannot control, because you can't control that. You can't go to that director and say, why are you hiring your nephew or your niece? You need to hire me. I'm the best candidate. You don't have access to those rooms. You don't have
Right.
access to those conversations. So that's the power of prayer. And if it doesn't work out, you're rest assured that this was not for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have faith and you believe in God and you say, God, I'm trying to get this, and I know that the plans you have for me are plans to succeed and excel, you know, if you don't get it and you know that you've done, no, don't get me wrong, you're not going to fold your
I'm
arms
not
and
doing
just
anything.
pray and not do anything. No, God doesn't roll like that.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do your
Mm-hmm.
work, right? So you've done your part, you've done your work, and you leave the rest to God. And if it doesn't work, you know that maybe that's not for you, and you move on to the next one, right? And eventually, you would get the best one for
Okay.
you. So that the prayer part is
Hold on.
extremely important. It's the icing on the cake.
I absolutely agree. Because when it comes to faith, sometimes people are a little bit cautious. They want to toe the fine line. But I mean, just like you said, it's icing on the cake. Is the cake is the ingredient is literally every single thing, right? Because even as we are working towards helping as many women as we can towards their individual growth, we don't want the women to get to the finish line and they're bruised and
Mm-hmm.
they're exhausted and they're broken down. Because honestly, by strength shall no man prevail. The Bible talks about that,
Right.
right? And so I want to make sure that, like, even as we're planning, just like you said, even as we're planning at, January 21st at the Prepare Pray plan, our plans are wonderful,
Mm-hmm.
right? We have to plan. They are wonderful. I mean, he has given us the power of choice, right? Plans are wonderful. By the end of the day, the goal is let his plan, let his will manifest in our life. Because honestly, no matter how amazing our plans are, it can never come close to what his plan is for us,
Exactly.
right? And so, um, yes, we're going to be preparing. We're going to be strategizing January 21st. We're going to be putting our hands together. Everybody's going to be leaving with a step-by-step action plan for the different breakout rooms. So you're not aware, career is one breakout room. We have a business breakout room, and we have another breakout room that is more around strategic partnerships and collaboration. And we're going to have a panel that is going to be covering on health, on finance, and on more personal and professional development as well, right? With all of that, though, we're saying, well, we are literally doing the work, right?
Yes.
But we're saying that at the end of the day, Lord, this is what we've done. We've done our best based on the mindset and the wisdom you've given us.
Yeah.
But we're putting it at your feet. Let your will be done. Give us the grace. Because even with the whole applying for jobs, like sometimes exhaustion sets in when you're getting rejection. It's like,
Mhm.
how do I keep applying for jobs? When
Yes.
it's time for transition, sometimes you have to make difficult choices. Do I, like you said, move from one level, from one area to another area? Is how do I move strategically and not chase my tail, right?
Right.
I mean, there's just an extent to which we can literally drive those conversations and thoughts if we're not leaning into his grace. So thank you for sharing how prayer is such a key part, even to your strategy. It reminds me of a quote that says, work like you have no faith and
Mm.
have faith like you've done no work,
Right.
right? So it means have faith and have work. Okay, so welcome everyone. I'm seeing new people join. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. If you haven't gotten your ticket yet, please check out the link in our bio. It's happening January 21st.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Prepare Pray Plan 2024, and it's where impactful, intentional women are gathering
Yes.
to get their year set up in an elevated way like never before.
Mm-hmm.
We're having breakout rooms, we're having panelists, we're having networking, but that day is not just about inspiration. We're literally getting these women from inspiration to
Yeah.
action. That is our goal. And we know that there will be testimonies, there will be references, people's lives will change just because they were in that room. So
Absolutely.
don't be found missing. Be in that room. And we have Vivian who's going to be literally leading the career breakout room. So if you have any question for her, put it in the chat or in the comment. If you have any question about the event, put in the comment as well as I continue to ask Vivian more questions. All right. All right, Vivian, what would you say has probably been one of the most challenging, maybe not most, but any challenging seasons or phases in your career? And how did you navigate that?
Hmm. So I would say, so in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
this is long ago, right? When I started out at a very junior position, right? Not a lot of people know this. And it was very frustrating for me because I used to think I'm better than this,
Mm,
right? This is someone who has 3 degrees. Why am I in this position?
right.
Why am I working with people who have
Mm,
zero,
mm,
right? And I used to question myself a lot. And I used to pray a lot and say, God, why, why you're not opening doors for me and things like that.
mm,
Long, long time ago, right? And, I say this because it's extremely important to really have faith and trust God,
mm,
right? And so it was very challenging for me again because I felt like I could do better. I should be in a better position. But what I didn't know is that position was setting me up for success.
right.
It was setting me up for bigger things. It was literally preparing me. It was grooming me, getting me
For the
ready for
next
what
step.
God, yes, for what God had ahead. And, when I look back, I feel so
Mm,
ungrateful, right?
mm,
Because I question every day. I would say, why, God, why? So I say this to remind people that you might be doing all the work, you know, you might be putting in all the effort and doing everything, and things might not necessarily be happening for
right.
you, but stay steadfast, be focused, because that's your preparation period,
Yes.
right? That's your preparation period. And when the time comes for the door to open, your preparation period is going to come in handy. All the things that you did during your preparation period would help you succeed and get to the next level. Um, there's a saying, I think it's preparation plus something equals to success. I don't remember it, but
Opportunity.
yes. So that was very hard for me. That was very challenging. That was a very challenging period in my
Right.
career. And so now wherever I am, I always try to make the best out of it. Whatever situation I'm in, even if, I have maybe a boss who is challenging, who is
Yeah.
difficult, I still try to give it my best, give it my all, because in my mind, I now have that belief
Context.
that God is
Mm,
preparing me for something greater. He's preparing me for a position where I might have to work with challenging people or difficult situations, and He's teaching me, the ropes, the things I need to do to be successful.
mm.
So that's what I would say.
Thank you for sharing that. I mean, like you say, sometimes it's hard to think anything beyond, especially when you're in that picture. Like, why am I here, right?
Yes.
The perception is so important because you just never know why you're there.
And
And I'm just reflecting a lot of immigrants as well, where most of us, most people and most immigrants will have been in situations where it's like, what am I even doing here? Like, why am I doing this kind of job, or why am I in this level? But like you say, it's always preparation for the next step, right? It's always, you really never know what you're laying in that phase, in that season. And I think when we lose gratitude for that season, or when we look at all the negative in that season, we tend to miss the lesson in that season, right?
exactly,
So I hope
exactly.
this encourages anyone out there who probably is in a season where they feel like, what in the world is going on? Just see this as there's a lesson I'm supposed to learn here. And I
Yeah.
believe that somewhere in the future that this lesson will be my asset. It will actually make me stand out amongst other people
Mhm.
out there in the future.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
I know you talked about the kind of women that you expect a prepared pray plan, but tell us more about that. So what kind of women do you tell the audience, for those who are still on the fence trying to figure out, should I get my ticket? Should I get, first of all, get your tickets. Then tell everybody you
Okay,
know in
so
ATL. Tell
Let
us.
me put it this way, right? We don't want to, I don't want serious people in my breakout room.
Mm,
I'm going to be straight with you. I don't want people who are lazy. I don't want people who are unintentional. I don't want people who are naysayers. I don't want people who are negative, right?
amen.
And if you're that person, if you're all of these things I mentioned, please leave it in 2023.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't carry it into 2024. It's
Yes.
not going to get you anywhere, right? So for Prepare, Pray, Plan 2024, we want women who are intentional.
Mm,
We want women who are focused. We want women who see the bigger picture. We want women who are positive. We want women who understand the power of networking and community,
mm-hmm.
right? Being in a space surrounded by successful women, surrounded by people who are in a place where you hope to be or where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
There's power in that,
Yes.
right? Just the power of influence, the power of, for lack of better words, synergy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're connecting, you're feeding off people's energy. So for this event, we want people who are, in a nutshell, serious and intentional and know what they want for 2024. So this event is not, we're not coming to tell you what you should want. No,
Mm-hmm.
you should already know what you want now, right? You already have an idea that in 2024, I want to get a promotion.
Mm-hmm.
In 2024, I want that pay increase.
Mm-hmm.
In 2024, I want to be in the IT industry. In 2024, I want to earn seven figures,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have that thought now in your
Mm-hmm.
mind. You're not coming to prepare pre-plan for us to tell you that. No. If you're coming, if you want us to tell you what you should, no, please don't buy a ticket, don't come. No, we want serious people. We want people who they know what they want and they need that help. They need that push. They need the motivation. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to roll our sleeves up
Yeah.
and we're going to get down dirty and we're going to do the work. We're not going to talk. It's not about talking. It's about, let's see your resume. What are you doing wrong? Let's see your professional profile. This is an example of a good profile. Does your profile look like
Mm-hmm.
this? What can you improve on your profile? How are you having conversations with your managers?
Mm-hmm.
How are you interacting with your peers? How are you getting the work done?
Mm-hmm.
So those are the kind of conversations we're going to be having. We're not going to be talking about why it's important to have a vision. No.
I agree. I'm smiling because I mean you're speaking to the truth. You know, I mean, if you're on this call or if you're a woman who knows there's a calling or who knows she's an assignment, there's a difference between people begging you to work and you get ready to work,
Mm-hmm.
right? At a certain point in time, we have to realize that time is so
Yeah.
precious. And at the end of the day, whatever it is that we are holding back for is so irrelevant. Fear of what will people say, fear of trying, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of rejection. Like literally, who cares about all those things? So,
Yeah.
and again, even if you're not so clear on what your vision might be in 2024, but you know, like, okay, I can't take this anymore. This whole 10 steps forward, 3 steps backward. I'm going around the circle and I'm in my own way. I'm literally the weapon fashioned against myself. If you're
Yes.
so tired
Yes.
of that,
Yes.
then this space is for you.
Yes.
Because again, you might not be clear on what your vision is, but one thing for sure is iron will sharpen iron. One thing for sure is
Exactly.
that you'll be inspired. One thing for sure is also a seed in your mind that will get your mind running and rumbling, and you'll be able to sleep at night because now you're so inspired. Now you have the power to dream and power to execute, right? So even
Yep.
I said it, like is sleeves up,
Yep.
ready to do the work.
Ready to do the work.
Ready to do the work, please, ladies. 2024 is the year where let our story be different for the better. Let us be
Yes.
ready to do the work. Let us take ownership and be so intentional about our future.
Mm-hmm.
No one should coerce you or beg you to
Yeah.
step into the assignment that God has called you
Yep.
for. Absolutely not. And so, Vivian, for your segments, you literally answered the question to the answers. You answered my next questions around what should people expect in your segment, and you kind of
Yeah.
like a whole overview of that. And I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super excited because it feels like we're going to leave that space and they'll be like, yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm set to go. So, does anyone have any question for Vivian or about this event? But I think Vivian has, I mean, she said it all. Vivian, what other, before we round up tonight, what other like words, you know, of encouragement, even for as we're ending the year, going to 2024? I know most people are typically in a different mindset. Some people are excited, some people are worried, some people not sure what 24 holds, you know, like what words of, encouragement or advice would you want to give to such person, probably listening, not sure what 2024 holds for them?
So, so the words of encouragement is there's always light at the end of the tunnel if you stay steadfast, right? So even people who are currently at their lowest points right now, people who are at rock bottom, um, if you're tired of being at rock bottom, there's nowhere else to go other than up. This is for you, right? Come and be inspired. Come and learn. Come and just network, pray, understand what it means to prepare, get a blueprint of what it is to succeed and attain a successful career. Um, this is literally an opportunity for you, right? So individuals who are thinking, oh, 2023 was horrible. I didn't do much. I didn't make money. I didn't get that promotion. All the negativity and all the, negative things.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to think there's light at the end of the
Yeah.
tunnel. 2024 is an opportunity for you to start anew. It's an opportunity to start afresh. There's where there's a will, there's a way. So if there's a will to do stuff, to do the work, because it's a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
I tell my clients that I coach, you can't sit down and talk on the phone for hours. You can't watch TV if you have a goal that you're trying to get to. You have to do the work. You have to keep enriching yourself. You need to keep upskilling. You need to literally do the work. It's not a one and done. It's not oh, we're going to come on January 21st and do all this stuff and then you hands up and you don't continue. No, you need to be ready to follow up. You need to follow through. You need to put in the effort to get to the finish line. So, this is me encouraging everybody and anybody who is feeling like they're tired, they're frustrated. There's definitely light at the end of the tunnel if you're ready to do the work.
Thank you for sharing that. There's light at the end of the tunnel. And I encourage everyone who hasn't gotten their ticket yet, please check out our link in our bio or go to www.womendoingitafraid.com. We have our early bird prizes tickets right now going on, and we know that that's definitely going to be sold out very soon. So if you haven't gotten your ticket, and also think about getting tickets for someone else that you know. See this as a New Year gift. I mean, this is the most impactful New Year gift you want to give to anyone, meaning that I believe in you, I believe in your vision, and I want to see you succeed. So get as many as you want to get. Come with your friends, come with your colleagues, come with anyone that you want to bring stuff, your purpose partner, your accountability, planning partner, whatever it is.
Your
Come together.
family, your
Your
sister, your
come with
cousin.
everyone.
Yes.
And Yemzi, we would love to see you there. We can't wait to meet you, connect with you, cheer you on, plan with you, whatever it is. Welcome. You're already part of the family. So
Yeah.
January 21st for sure. Please, everyone, don't forget to get your tickets for all the amazing people in your life. And with that being said, I want to say thank you so much to Queen Vivian for her time tonight, for sharing from her heart, telling us about resilient immigrant, the work she's done, her career journey, sharing some of her success secrets as well, and what we should look out for in her segment, January 21st. And I know it's going to be an amazing time. And I can't wait to experience all of that. Thank you so much, Vivian.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, everyone. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening. And we're going to be sharing more of the speaker series. So we have all of our speakers are going to be doing Instagram live, so you can have a sneak peek on what to expect that day. So follow us on Women Jeffrey if you're not. Forget to follow Vivian as well to stay engaged with all that she's doing. And join us in our Instagram live series. But most importantly, get your ticket, and it will be an amazing time. And with that being said, have an amazing rest of the evening, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.